Have you ever found your whole life changing in a blink of an eye? Well, it wasn't exactly a blink. Our marriage was on a steady decline, if I'm being totally honest. Anyway, one moment I was living my ordinary life, and the next I was signing divorce papers. My world turned upside down. It was a day like any other. For most, life was moving, the birds were singing, but the words etched on that piece of paper were anything but ordinary. Divorce, it read. A word that seemed so foreign, so out of place in my life. Even though I was the petitioner or the applicant, the initial shock was like a jolt of electricity, a sudden surge that left me numb and sad. I remember the cold sensation, the slow spread of dread that seeped into my bones. My lawyer had even asked me if I was certain I wanted to go through with it. Certain? No, I wasn't. Even after all he had done, put me through, I secretly hoped he would fight for us, our marriage, our children. It was an unexpected beginning, a twist in the plot I hadn't seen coming. He was from a good Christian family, father a pastor, mother the matron of the choir. Surely this was meant to work, right? There I was, standing in the middle of my life, surrounded by the remnants of a marriage that I thought would last forever. We prayed almost every night, not just for ourselves, but for every single person in both of our families individually. As you can imagine, that took hours. So I was lost in a sea of confusion, struggling to make sense of the words before me. My mind was a whirlwind, thoughts and questions swirling around like a tornado. What now? What about the kids? How will I manage? I was drowning in a sea of uncertainty, fear of the unknown threatening to pull me under. But amidst the chaos, there was a beacon of hope, a silver lining in the dark cloud. My mother, my sisters, they were there, always a steady rock amidst all the turbulent waves. We could stay with any of them, but I chose the one who also had a child in the age range of my babies. Still, the rest of my sisters and mother rallied around us, from emotional and financial support to advice, listening ear and babysitting. I knew I could depend on them. Looking at my children, I realized that no matter what, I needed to be strong for them and for myself. And just like that, I found myself at the start of a new chapter, with my 2 babies and family by my side. Ever tried fitting 5 lives under one roof? Imagine the whirlwind of emotions, the flurry of adjustments, and the bittersweet symphony of starting anew. That was us when we moved in with my sister. Our new living arrangement was a medley of chaos and harmony. The chaos was inevitable, of course. Imagine 2 adults, 3 toddlers, all with our own rhythms, trying to dance to the same tune in a relatively small space. The house suddenly seemed to shrink, as if it were adjusting to its new inhabitants. It was a circus of unsorted laundry, misplaced toys, and the ever-elusive remote control. But then, there was also harmony. My sister, bless her heart, was a rock amidst the storm. She welcomed us with open arms, making room not just in her home, but in her life as well. She was the extra set of hands when I needed help with the children, a comforting presence during sleepless nights, and the voice of reason when I felt overwhelmed. And the children, oh, these little beings surprised us with their adaptability. They embraced their new surroundings with the curiosity and resilience that only children possess. They made friends with every corner of the house, turning it into their playground. The initial struggles were many. Adjusting to new routines, dealing with the inevitable clashes, and finding a balance was not easy. But we learned. We learned to respect each other's space, to communicate better, to be more patient. We learned to laugh at our mistakes and to appreciate the small victories. Above all, we learned what it meant to be a family. As we navigated this new chapter, we discovered that our bond was our strongest asset. We realized that the roof above us was not just a shelter, but a symbol of unity, of togetherness. Despite the challenges, the roof that sheltered us also brought us closer, reminding us that family is everything. Who says sisters are just for sharing clothes and secrets? Let me tell you, they're for so much more. I have a tale to weave, a story of sisterhood in the face of adversity. It all started when my sister and I became co-captains of a ship, navigating through stormy seas. Only this ship was our home, and the storm was the aftermath of my divorce. Some days I'd find her up to her elbows in making dinner, baby formula and diapers. Yet there she was, her face beaming with a joy that showed gratitude to the Almighty for the gift of motherhood, a joy that came from sharing responsibilities. Not just any responsibilities, but the ones that mattered most, the ones that revolved around our little ones. Other times, amidst the chaos of scattered toys and half-eaten meals, we could ourselves collapsed on the living room floor, laughing until our stomachs hurt. It was over something as silly as a mispronounced word by one of our toddler. In that moment, I realized that laughter, like love, is a language that doesn't require perfection. It just needs to be shared. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, we discovered that we were not just sisters by blood, but by choice. We were partners in crime, comrades in arms, and so much more. We shared not just our clothes and secrets, but our hopes, our fears, and our dreams. The bond of sisterhood became our guiding star, our beacon in the dark. It helped us navigate through the toughest of times, through the sleepless nights and the endless days. It was there, solid and unyielding, even when everything else was uncertain. In the midst of this whirlwind, my sister and I found something precious. We found strength in each other, a strength that was born from shared struggles and shared victories. We found resilience, the kind that only comes from having someone by your side, someone who understands, someone who cares. In our darkest hours, we found light in each other, proving that sisters can indeed be lifelines. Ever noticed how children can bring a smile even in the toughest times? There's something magical about their innocent eyes, their tiny fingers clutching your thumb, and their adorable kisses, isn't there? In the midst of my sister and I's life-altering situation, the kids are bundles of joy with a silver lining in our clouded skies. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a rather heated discussion, and suddenly, there's this tiny giggle that cuts through the tension. It's like a ray of sunshine peeking through storm clouds, isn't it? That's exactly what it felt like every time my little ones laughed. Their laughter was like a melody, a beautiful symphony that never failed to lift our spirits. Oh, and their antics. My sister and I would often find ourselves chuckling at their little pranks and squabbles. Their shenanigans were a constant source of amusement. And you know what they say about laughter being the best medicine? It certainly was for us. Every day was a new adventure with them. Their tiny discoveries, be it the sound of a rattle or the texture of a new toy, filled our home with excitement. Their wide-eyed wonder at the world around them was infectious, compelling us to view our surroundings with a fresh perspective. They were our little stress busters, their presence a balm to our frazzled nerves. Their innocent smiles, their absolute trust in us, and their unconditional love served as a reminder of the good in the world. Their joyous energy permeated our home, maintaining a positive atmosphere even during the most challenging times. And so, in a rather unexpected way, our babies became our teachers. They taught us to find happiness in simple things, to laugh at our mistakes, and to cherish every moment. Their resilience, their zest for life, and their ability to love unconditionally were lessons in living that we all needed. Through their giggles and laughs, the kids taught us the most important lesson: to find joy in the smallest things. So, where do we go from here? A question that we've asked ourselves countless times. But each time the answer has been the same: forward, always forward. The road ahead may be steep and filled with uncertainty, but we've learned that the journey is less daunting when we have each other to lean on. With my mother and sisters by my side and my two beautiful children in tow, we're not just surviving, we're thriving. The future holds a wealth of possibilities. Perhaps there will be new careers, new homes, new relationships. But whatever these new chapters may bring, we know that the bond we share as a family will remain constant. And isn't that the true essence of family? To be there for one another through thick and thin, to provide a shoulder to cry on, or a hand to hold when the going gets tough. Now we've learned that family, or tribe, doesn't just mean those related by blood, but also those who choose to stand by us, come what may. We've come to understand that the measure of our strength is not in the battles we've won, but in the lessons we've learned. We've learned to be resilient, to be patient, to be kind. We've learned to love deeply and forgive quickly. We've learned that we can't control what life throws at us, but we can control how we respond. And most importantly, we've learned that family truly is everything during a divorce. The journey forward may be filled with unknowns, but we're ready to face them head on. We're not just moving forward, we're moving upward. We're choosing to see the beauty in every new day, the joy in every shared moment, the love in every heartfelt hug. Life may have thrown us a curveball, but as long as we have each other, we know we can face anything. Because at the end of the day, it's not about where we're going, but who we're going with. And with my family, my tribe by my side, I know we can conquer anything.